Morning, everybody. Welcome to our March Micro Minimizing Challenge for day 14. We're 2 weeks in. I hope that you're able to sort through some of your items and starting to feel your load lighten a little bit in a not too stressful way. Today, we are sorting through our food storage containers. So, I used to have my food storage containers in a large drawer in my kitchen. It's kind of an oversized drawer, and I would have all my containers nested in together, the ones that match sizes, and then I would have the lids either at the front of the drawer or in another container that housed the lids. And my storage containers are all glass, so I also had to have pieces of paper towel in between the nested layers, or else glass tends to get suctioned together. It's really, really hard to get apart. So it was very disorganized. It was hard to keep it organized. Once in a while, you go through the drawer and resort everything and it looks nice for a week or so, and then you get lazy. It's in a drawer, you kind of start just throwing the lids in. And anyway, so I found kind of a new way to store my containers, and I'm going to share it with you today. I think it's a bit unconventional the way I do it, and you might think like, wow, this is a different idea. But I hope that you give it a try, because it has been a huge benefit to the way my containers are stored, the time savings in finding lids and containers. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to find a nice space to work at, whatever size you need, whether it's at your kitchen counter, your dining room table. Bring all of your food storage containers out into the open where you can see them all. Match up all the bottoms to lids. Actually put the lids on, make sure they fit nicely, make sure that they're in good condition, and discard any of the lids or bottoms that don't have a match. So whether that's donating or recycling, that is up to you. Some people are looking for lids to their bottoms, so donating isn't a bad idea. There are a couple of notations here that I want to make. If you are keeping old plastic containers that say you bought sour cream or margarine or that kind of thing, those containers are made to be used once. They're made to be used for that product, and they are not food storage containers after that. Plastic containers in general, when they are heated or when they start getting cracked or scratches, chemicals leach into the food. So do not keep the sour cream and margarine and those types of containers for your food storage. They are fine for storing non-food items, buttons and sewing kind of things, craft, organization, that kind of stuff is fine, obviously, but they are not made for food storage. So I would definitely be recycling those if you don't have another use for them. Also, consider even the plastic containers that you do buy for food storage. It's the same applies to them. As soon as they are heated or start to get scratched up and cracked, and that they are leaching chemicals into your food. So recycle those. I would encourage you to consider replacing your plastic containers as they get worn out to glass. Glass won't leach into your food. It's the favored food storage container. Okay. Also consider how many containers you reasonably need for your home, right? How many do you use for, leftovers or that kind of thing? Do you have your favorite containers that's your go-to containers all the time? And then do you have the ones that you don't really want to use, and they're, again, they're not the favorites. They're your, just in case you use up all your favorites, you don't need to keep those ones. So keep your favorites because you'll use them, And the ones that are not your favorites, you're probably not using anyway. So there's no need to keep food containers that are there for just in case reasons. So dwindle down your collection if need be, determine what you need for your home. Also consider the space where you store your containers. Is this the proper home for them? Do you have easy access to your containers? Do you need a new home for them? Now, I'm going to share my idea that for storing your food storage containers that really made a difference in my kitchen. And that is to store your containers with the lids on. That's right. So stack them, however, but instead of nesting them and then having the lids in a separate place or the lids on top, put the lid on each container and store them with the lid on. I have mine with, light containers are together. They're stacked up in a nice little tower, and the different sizes and whatnot are still organized and categorized by size or shape or what have you. This has done a couple of things. It may or may not take up a little bit more space to store them this way, because you think if they're nested. But if you're dwindling down your containers to just what you need, they are probably not going to be taking up any more space this way. Not only do they look more pleasing to the eye, you save a ton of time because you're not trying to find the lid. It's already there. And a huge thing that I didn't realize that I would notice, but I am, and that is because I can visually see the container, I can visually see how big the container is. I have a better idea of the size of the container at a glance, as opposed to having to kind of pull it out and assess whether this is the size I think I need. So on my blog post today, I do actually have a picture of my container drawer from before I did my my clean out, and then I also have a picture of the after, and this is where I had to reconsider the home, because the drawer was really not a great place to have them once they were stacked with the lid. So I did some moving around and I put them into a cupboard instead, and I love it. It's actually working out really, really well in my kitchen. So I really want you to give this a try, even if it's just for, a month or two, and really give it a fair shot and see how you like it. But I found that the benefits by far outweigh. They're always nice and neat and clean. They're always easy to find. You bring them out of the dishwasher. I do make sure that they're very dry. When I take them out of the dishwasher, sometimes there's, still a little bit of water, especially in the lids and whatnot. So I do make sure to give them a chance to either dry them with a towel or let them air dry on the counter for a little bit before putting the lid on. And then, you're off to the races. So donate whatever you don't need. Dwindle down whatever you have that's just in case. Get rid of anything that's cracked, scratched, not healthy to be using. Reconsider using those plastic containers, especially don't be throwing them in the microwave, okay, because the heat leaches those chemicals. So, do yourself a favor and, consider replacing them with glass if you haven't already, over time. It's become quite popular and easy to find. So you can buy glass sets now too that are pretty reasonably priced when they come on sale. So consider doing that for your kitchen and for your health. And that's about all I have. For sure, let me know if you try this idea of stacking with the lids on. Like I said, I think it's a huge thing. It made a big difference in my kitchen. So let me know if you try it and how you like it. I'd really like to hear from you. Okay, have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.